nkura, yarize mfite inzara, yarize mfite inyota, yarize banyica, oh mama.
In April of 2006, the European Union of Jewish Students and the Belgian Association of Rwandan Students organized a joint mission to Rwanda in partnership with the World Jewish Congress Future Generations Division. Together, Jewish students from Europe, South Africa, the US and Israel, mostly third-generation survivors of the Shoah, and Rwandan students living in Belgium, many direct survivors of the 1994 genocide, went in search of understanding. The vision: to share the memory of the Shoah and the Tutsi genocide, and to learn from one another. Only by continuously educating about the uniqueness of the Shoah and also the exceptionality of the Tutsi genocide can we sensitize the world in order to speak out when other minorities are at risk. This is the beginning of a long-term process called Shared Memories, Collective Action. Rwanda has many memorials, places where huge massacres occurred, places which now carry the vivid memory of crimes against humanity. Bisesero, a place where a large concentration of Tutsis used to live. Their numeric strength gave them the courage to organize themselves, to try to resist tragic death. For 2 months they fought with sticks and stones. The French army, who had promised to protect the Tutsis in the hills, left and came back only after the massacre had occurred. Of 50,000 people, not even 1,000 survived. Murambi, a former technical school. It is hard to conceive that here 45,000 people were massacred, buried later in mass graves. As we walked around, Emmanuel, a survivor, told us his story. The story of Murambi, the story of a place where the Tutsis thought they would be protected, and where in 2 nights, most of the refugees were massacred. Emmanuel lost all of his family here. He was wounded and fled into the nearby hills, where he watched as the French army buried the mutilated bodies, and afterwards played volleyball on top of the mass graves. The graves were finally reopened and the bodies given a proper burial, but a few thousand of them were mummified in the very position they were killed, with the expression of death and pain on their faces. Someone asked, how did God let this happen? A recurrent question for Jews after the Shoah. A question without any answer other than, how did we, creatures of God, let it happen? But this trip, this project, will lose its meaning if we cannot find a way to make the expression, never again, more than just a cliché. Listening to those testimonies, seeing those horrors, walking in the streets of Kigali, we were overcome by incomprehension and rage. Why did the world close its eyes to what was happening in Rwanda 12 years ago? Why, even while we were watching it live on CNN? This unique and vitally important mission proved to us that we were not the last. This trip was the beginning of a long-term investment in remembrance, in teaching about the unique place of the Shoah, and in taking action, striving to prevent more crimes against humanity in years to come. The European Union of Jewish Students, the Belgian Association of Rwandan Students, and the World Jewish Congress Future Generations Division are committed to it. Returning home, we carried the message of shared memories, collective action, each one in his and her respective country and community. Our trip to Rwanda was the beginning of a journey. It is a journey that every human being should make. We ask you to take the first step with us.